Well, the sun is up. I am up. The mountains are very much up. Lake over there in the background. Yeah. Cool. Early morning o'clock. Always the best time to be up in the mountains. Now those are nice benches. And since somebody's gone to the trouble of making such a nice bench, how can I not take a seat and enjoy that view? Look at that. Lovely, isn't it? Yeah. Over that side, that's a very popular hike up there. That pointy one right in the middle there. That's Barrier Lake and Yates Mountain. If you go up over the top of there, the view from up there is stunning. It's a extremely popular hike, very, very popular. On a weekend it can get crazy busy, but it's a good hike, it's a good family hike. Now if you come down the back of that mountain, where you see that like slash line across there with a rock, if you come down the back of there, that brings you out to a place called Jewel Pass, which is between those two mountains over there. There's a nice little waterfall in there. You don't tend to see that much what's the name? Water flowing through it. It's great in the spring runoff, but it's not one that flows heavy all year round. But look at that. That is the start of my day. Now there is a trail that goes up there from this side, but I'm not going up there. I'm on a nice easy walk today, not a crazy walk. Right, on I will go. Now this is a perfect example when people say, oh yeah, forests have all been clear cut. This is a clear cut forest. This is what happens when they clear out a forest. It regrows. You see all the aspens growing in here? Absolutely stunning. See all the amazing wildflowers for the birds and the bees and all that kind of good stuff. All the new plants growing, all the different trees. Lots of these have been planted. See these conifers here? They've all been planted. This is how a forest regrows. So yes, it is clear cut. And people look at it and think, oh my god, they've cut all the trees down. But this is what you end up with. Yeah, this is how it should go once you actually get into the regrowth and what have you. This is how it should regrow. I can tell you now, this is actually a very nice walk up through here. I am making a little bit of noise because it is bare country, but look at that. If that's not nice, you know, this is clear cut that's regrown. Aspen forest tends to turn up first. All the conifers and that they've planted in amongst it, they still grow. The aspens will grow up fast and first, and they create the shade for everything else to grow and get established with the wind protection and stuff. And then hey presto, you're back into a nice productive forest again. And that's exactly what all this is about. So yes, clear cut is a pain in the rear end when they first clear out all the trees. Trees are grown as a crop, but then this is what you end up with afterwards. Right, I'm just about to go around the corner. I'm going to be in the full sun, so I will turn this off for a second. Right, the scenery just gets better and better. These old standing pines here in front of me, these dead ones, they're very important to leave those because they make fantastic habitat and bird perches and lookouts. As they came up here, there was some kind of hawky thing sat up in the top of there. It's pretty big, so I don't know whether it was a this year's eagle or just a large hawk. I'm not quite sure what it was, but it was sitting right on the top of there, so it's obviously a lookout perch. So these old trees, they're very important to still have some of those in the environment. Like I say, this is regrowth. As you can see all the old logging stumps and that in here where the forest was cleared. They clear it for timber. You have to bear in mind that most of this up through here was grown as timber. So we have nice aspen forest all the way down through there. Perfect deer habitat and what have you. The mountains over the back. Mount Baldy up there. And that's where I'm going. The sun's getting warm. They said we're going in for a really hot weekend. That's why I'm making an early start. I'm now wondering why I don't come up this way normally. It's a lot further to where I normally go, but it's a lot nicer walk. I normally go up where I head up is there's another trail across the other side of this valley off to my left, but I normally go up that one. And that's a bit of a steep route up through there. So this is a road. This is how roads are. This was actually a logging road through here. That's where this trail is following. It, as you can see, it all gets reclaimed, and hey presto, now looks absolutely amazing with all the nice young trees there. Look at all these trees. Most of these trees around here, the conifers and that, they only tend to grow about a foot a year. So there's not too many that will grow faster than that. But, look, isn't that nice thing? This is what it's been like all the way up through here. Yeah. Like I say, I'm not sure why I don't normally come up this side. I normally come up the other side, which is about half a kilometre, 3/4 kilometre off to the left. There's another trail in there. But this one is way more scenic. What a nice young aspens. That. Lovely. Yes. Hard to beat this, I think. Right, I'm going to get over into that tree line. Hopefully get a bit of shade. I did bring my hat. Always remember to bring a hat. It's going to be a really hot one today. Right. Further up this road, the trail here, it reverts back to a road. This is one of the old roads that runs up through here. They did actually reuse this road a little while ago, actually. Some additional logging they did up in here. Not a great fan of walking along these kind of roads. The trails leading in here were very nice, and the views are amazing. So although I'd rather be walking on the forest trail, I will take this for a little bit. I have to turn left up here in a bit. Certainly not bad. Not bad at all. Like I say, there is a section of road through here. I believe if you follow this road all the way up, it will actually take you right out the back of Baldy there, Fisher Range or whatever they call that. Takes you right up around the back of there, but I'm not going all the way around there. This is a route that a lot of people that are going to go climbing up the mountains in front of me, this is a lot of people come this way. Yeah, but my trail that I want goes off on the left here somewhere. Yeah, see those mountains in front? This is the approach route that a lot of people use for that. But I'm not going up there. That's like hard work getting up there. It's hard work enough walking up here, let alone going up there. Right, I'll do some more in a moment. Right, after a short walk up that road, I've arrived at my turn off. One last look across that way. Baldy, Yates. I can see the fire lookout right up on top of the hill, literally right smack in the middle of the shot. There's a little silver shiny piece right on the top. That is actually a fire lookout. This is the turn off. This is my connector that runs across. Some of the signs up in here are very, very old. Let's just put it that way. So this is the connector. This is the piece that runs across to the trail I normally come up, actually. But this is actually very nice. And I'm going to try and keep the camera at the sun. So I'm going to head up across this way. This connector is only about a kilometre across, I guess, something like that. Right. One last look at my nice views. And I will head on down that way. Right, I've come out through a short bit of forest. That way is facing south. And this is east-ish. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm heading straight into the sun at the moment. This is the little connector route. Those conifers over there, the taller ones, that is the other side of those trees is where my other trail is, pretty much. So, this is a very pleasant loop for like a family walk. If a family was doing this loop, this is the Baldy Trail Interpretive Loop, I think they call it. There is an interpretive trail that ends back there, but you can actually turn this into a very nice loop, and you have some very nice views. Look at that. Yes, if you follow that road up through there where I just turned off, it'll take you up into those mountains over there. A lot of people obviously go up there. Some very popular hiking up through there, and there is a fairly good road that you can walk in for most of the way, although walking on roads kind of boring. Bear in mind that this was all clear cut not long ago, and now look at it. Lovely, isn't it? For a nice sunny easy walk. I mean, there's nothing strenuous along here at all yet. And I know once I'm through these trees it's all easy. Yeah, but you can see where the trees have been cleared out over the years. All those conifers you see up there towards Baldy, like in the Second World War, none of those were there. All that stuff on the hill, none of that was there. It was all cleared up. So everything that you see through here, although it looks like old forest, is actually replant. Same as all this is. All this stuff here, this is all replant. So it's important to have a cycle. Very important to have a cycle. Yeah. We'd all love to just let the forests grow and do their thing, and then they all fall down, and then nature's way of dealing with that is there'll be massive forest fires for literally hundreds of square kilometres. Nature would clear it all out, and then it would look like this as it regrew. But this is people's way of managing the forest, and it is very important to manage the forest. What I don't like is this excessive logging that you see, and they just literally decimate the area. Nothing's replanted, everything's just ends up as a big mess, and then they just walk away from it and do the same thing in the next valley. That I do not agree with. This is not bad, because like I say, all these trees in here, everything that you see growing through here, this is all grown as a crop. The areas that have been cleared turn into amazing habitat for deer and elk and bears and all kinds. Yeah, plus all the insects. I have seen so many bees and what have you on the wildflowers. There is clover everywhere in here. Look at it. There's clover everywhere. Bees love that stuff. Yeah. People spray that stuff to get it out. They go, oh my god, I got a clover plant on my grass, my immaculate green grass. Your immaculate green grass is kind of toxic to just about every insect that's going. This stuff is really good. I can see so many insects, it's just not funny. They're everywhere. The whole floor that I'm walking along the path to trail is absolutely alive, and that's what you want. You want that biodiversity. So you need the insects. Insects feed the birds. Everybody likes to see birds in their gardens and what have you. Well, if you kill all the insects, birds ain't coming to your garden, mate. Simple as that. Yeah. Yes, this whole notion as human beings that we have to have this immaculate, perfectly green lawn, I think we need to seriously get our heads out of that. That's just a recipe for disaster, that is. Which is perpetuated by the chemical companies and the fertilizer companies and all this kind of stuff that tell you have to keep it green. Well, you can have it green, but you can also have nice ground cover plants in there. You can put clover in there. You'll be surprised how healthy your garden will be. There it is. Yeah, absolutely amazing. All I can hear is insects and birds, and can't hear anything else actually. Oh, that sounds like a hawk or something down that way. Let's see if I can see anything when I get down in there. They usually see me long before I see them. Right, on I go. Right, I'm going to do a 360 where I am before I get back into the taller trees. That is the other advantage, of course, when they clear an area, is you now have a view. Once I'm back into the taller trees just in front of me, it's as much as it's nice to be back in the shade, it's also nice to have a nice view. Yeah, so many wildflowers along here. Lots of those purple things that I saw the other day. Not sure what those are. Absolute profusion of butterflies and wildflowers. Oh, this is a great time of the year. another bee. That was a big one. I don't know what that is. That thing was huge. That thing almost needs landing lights. Yeah. Right, I'm heading back into the forest over this side. The trail that's down this side was originally a road like this, but it's all overgrown, and the water and that has flowed down it and cut channels. You couldn't really use it much as a road now, but they don't need to, obviously, because they have this one. Once I'm back into the trees, look at that. Amazing how the trees soon reclaim the road. Look at that. Yeah, amazing, eh? Right, I'll do some more when I get to the next T-junction. So the connector, as you can see, this was a road, but it's very much now back to a walkable trail, which is exactly what we want. Redo the areas and keep everything nice and walkable. Amazing how quickly nature covers it over, eh? I don't know if you've ever seen any of these TV shows like 50 years after humans. I know where there's places that are now actually training grounds, and there's one place where they closed off half a town way back in the Second World War, and it's completely overgrown now. You can hardly see the buildings, there's just trees everywhere. Yeah, you can just about make out where the roads were and all this kind of stuff. They actually use it as a research facility now. But, you need special permission to go in there because they want it as disturbed as little as possible. But it's literally, they fenced off half a town and used it as a training site. Now this should be my T-junction. Yes, it is. Right, look at it. This is where you'll find yet another one of these useless signs. Yeah. And I think I'm going to go that way because it's not far down to the creek, so I'll head down there. Right, I'm just going to head down to the creek. Once you get to this point, you can actually hear it just off to the left. That T-junction is just behind me. I'm going to kick some of these ankle busters off this hill. There's a little bit of a downhill. You go round a short corner, and then there's a very nice bridge. I don't know who built that bridge, but that is such a nice designed bridge. It's very, very simple. It's extremely effective. It's been there for I don't know how long. Yeah. Some bridges are just good designs. I've built loads and loads of bridges over the years, like trail bridges and what have you. I tend to just build log bridges now. I don't build proper bridges anymore. I don't have the facilities to do so, and also I don't have the vehicle to get them out to where they need to be anymore. Yeah. But I used to do a lot of that stuff in other parts of the world, and a lot of my bridges are still there to this day. Yeah. If I see people that post videos of trials, I think, oh, I built that bridge. They're still used. If you build them good, build them out the right materials, they stay there for a long time. And this one down here, every time I see this bridge, which is probably, this is about the second or third time this year I've been down this way, but this is a nice trail. This is a lovely trail, but it's a trail that most people don't use because it doesn't really go anywhere spectacular. If you do the loop that I've just done, and then I'll come back up this hill in a minute. If you do the loop that I've just done, there's some very nice views up there, as you can see in the video. But this actual trail doesn't really go that far. We go over this next little rise, and then down where the big tree was. I didn't cut that one out. This piece I'm doing here adds probably a half a kilometre, maybe a kilometre in total to the loop. But when you're out walking around, another kilometre makes pretty much no difference. Oh. Need some four-wheel drive to get up this one. And depending on how sunny it is, I may choose to go a little bit further, but I'll do some more when I get down to the bridge. As I've said in one of my other videos, coming down this way, be careful on this junction, this corner, because I've seen a few bears on this corner. But, I cut that small tree off of there the other year. This big one I didn't. But, I'll show you where the bears go. Oh, looks like we've had some cows down through here. Yeah, trail's been trodden down a lot more. Yeah, see down through there, that is a major bear throughway, if you like. So I don't go down that way. That's leaving them to keep their space. And this is the other reason that you'll find bear and that down through here, is this is a good watering hole. So anytime you're approaching water or whatever, good idea to make some noise, which is why I'm talking. And look at that for a design of a bridge. I love that bridge. It's fantastic. Whoever built that just got some 6x6s under there. They're probably about, I don't know, I'm going to measure them. I don't know how long they are, but that is such a well built bridge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So those pieces, they're probably 30-foot 6x6s. And as I've said before, when you approach a bit of mud like this across, always have a quick look in the mud. I don't see any fresh tracks of anything actually. I would like to look in the mud and see what you're sharing the trail with. But isn't that a nice designed bridge? Fantastic, eh? Love that. Right, I'm going to head on up this way a little bit and see how bright the sunshine is up around this corner. Well, me being me, I couldn't decide whether to go back or not, so I decided not. So I'm going to continue out this way a little bit. Now this is an area that they only just closed off. They logged all this last year, year before, and they only just closed off the road. Right, so this gives you an idea of how quickly nature recolonizes. Look at all this fireweed. Isn't that amazing? Stunning. Absolutely stunning. Next year, look at this. Just alive with bees and insects. The trail, by the way, heads in just over there. Don't go up there. Tempting to go up there, but it's not. Your trail actually goes that way. I'm back out this side of the mountains. I'm just heading up here a little bit further to a place that I know of. I'm going to sit down and have a rest. Yeah. This is a trail more people should explore. All I can hear is bees. Bees and insects. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Tell you what, it's a hot day today. They said this weekend, so there's Baldy over that way now. Fisher Range goes off down through there. Yeah. They said this weekend is going to be a very, very hot weekend. And yeah, I'll agree with that. Today's one of the cooler days, which is why I've come out here today. But today is one of the cooler days. This was a logging road that they've just reclaimed. So you can see there's a lot of rock and debris and that over here. But the more people that walk it, the better it gets. So 1 footstep at a time, it gets better. Yeah. There is actually a very clearly defined trail coming up through here now. They do have some tree markers over on the side here, but they're actually a little ways off where the new trail is. Look at all that purple back there. Isn't that nice? Yeah. All up through here as well. Bloody lovely. I'm not sure this is all fireweed. I'm not sure what that other stuff is. There's fireweed in amongst it. There's Alberta rose coming up. Lots of roses I see. Look at this. This stuff's camera's about 3 feet off the ground, so gives you an idea of how tall this stuff is. It's lovely, isn't it? yeah, the tree markers they put for the trail are up over there, but that's not where the trail's being established. This is a much easier piece of route. Yeah. You get back to here and you have your amazing views again. When this was all tall forest, all you saw was tall forest. Yeah. Didn't see any of this. Oh, a bee just flew out there. Almost got a picture of a bee. Yeah. And where I'm heading is a little ways across this open area, and I'll do some more video when I get there. Well, back at the bridge, heading out. There's a lot more water flowing down in this bit. As I've said before, I do like that bridge. That is a very nice bridge. Yeah. Not sure who made that, but well done. Whoever it was, it looks very nice. Yeah. I say there's no fresh animal tracks down here in the creek, so that's always a good thing. Down through there. Nice, huh? What a great sound. I could sit and listen to that all day, but unfortunately I have a fair distance to go, so I have to get out of here. Things you find in the forest when you keep your eyes open. There's the old cattle trough down in there, the old water trough. It's been there ages. It'll probably be there for another 100 years or more. Yeah. Just off the side of the trail before you go up the hill. Yeah, there are a lot of cows and that down through this way. Been some horses down through here. The only track I can see is horses. It's not a bad thing. Yeah. Now I've got to go back up this hill, so I will put this away until I get over the top. As I said on the way up, if you're doing the loop, you'll come out the way I came up in the video earlier. I came up that way, that's the connector. You'll come to this sign that's about as much use as a concrete parachute, and the bridge is down that way. Just a short walk, 5 minutes down that way. It just makes a nice destination point. Soak your feet in the river, cool down, come back up the hill, and then head around this way, because this is how you can turn it into quite a nice loop. This was a road, this piece down through here, and nature has reclaimed this one pretty good. So most people seem to come up the other way. They don't tend to come up this way. This is a nicer down route than an up route. If you're going to do this loop, go around it anti-clockwise. Start at the bottom, up over that way I showed you this morning through the interpretive trail, and then come back down through this way. And this is a, like I say, this is a much better down route than up route. You get way more views coming back down this way than you do coming up it. It's a bit of a slog coming up here, but either way you've got to gain the elevation no matter what you do. So but if you go around anti-clockwise, this is a much nicer route back down the hill. Right, I will head on down that way. Although I say there's not many views down this way when you come down this way, there are actually some. The forest is going back up, so hard to see the distances. Still a nice walk. Makes a nice loop. I like to do loop trails. In and out trails are fine, but I prefer loops. Gives you a different view on the way back. Like I say, this trail is a better down trail than an up trail. Yeah. Do occasionally see people come along here on bikes, not so much. I've seen the occasional horse track down through here as well. They tend to go down the other side. They don't tend to come down this way so much. Cleared a lot of these trees out of here over the years. Yeah. That's nice up over the top of those hills, but not on a roasty hot day like today. You can go over the top of those hills, follow them all the way along, and it takes you up over the top of Hunchback Hills. It's actually quite nice up in there, but on a hot day today like this, with not very much shade up there, yeah, I will stick to getting back into the forest here in a minute. Yeah, I do actually have my hat on. I do have my hat. Trust me, it makes such a difference. Once I'm in the trees I take it off, then your head gets nice and cool with a cool breeze, but out in the open, good idea to wear a hat. Right, I'm just going to go down this hill through the trees and cool down a bit. As you come down the trail, it does open up a little bit in places, and you end up with nice views like that. Where you would have gone up would have been way over the other side of those trees over that side, and just basically come down this side. So this was the road. As you can see, it's considerably rougher than the other side, which is why I find it easier to come down this hill rather than up this hill. So, right. I will continue on down that way into the forest, and then there's a little detour at the bottom. There's two ways you can go at the bottom of the forest here, and I'll show you both of them there. Right, so as you come down the trail, just down there and around the corner is a big open area, and you can walk along the top, or you can turn off here. There's a nice little woodland trail which basically runs parallel. There used to be a sign on that post there. It basically runs parallel all the way down through the forest here. So this is actually a nicer walk, and it's more shady today, so I'm going to take this way back. And here I am back at the beginning. I went that way, up over that valley, and then when you come back, you'll come back out that way. And you can either walk down to the parking lot down there, or what a lot of people do, there's a very wide pull out on the side of the road down here. They just stop on the side of the road and park there, which is exactly what I did. And I think that will be a nice closeout picture for the walk. It's I don't know what it is in distance all the way down. It doesn't take long. It's actually a very nice walk, but like I say, go around it anti-clockwise. Very nice. It's called the Baldy Pass Loop or something they call it. I'll find its correct name when I get home and put it on the video there. Right, I'm going to head on that way.